Jalen is a seventh grader at the Good Shepherd School, a private Catholic institution. She transferred from a failing public school 3 years ago and sees big differences between the two.
The classrooms are much smaller. The teachers really care, really care about you.
For Jalen's mother, Crystal, the plan to move her daughter was hatched in the fourth grade.
They weren't assisting her or helping her or guiding me to what I need to do to help her. So she was failing. And so they suggested, well, maybe she should be in special ed.
Determined Jalen just needed some extra help, Crystal searched for a better public school in the area.
I looked all over New Orleans, Jefferson Parish, that were in vicinity of our home or my workplace, and all the schools that I was finding were failing.
On the advice of a co-worker, Crystal looked into the Louisiana Scholarship Program. The family meets the income requirements, plus Jalen was attending a public school that had a rating of C, D, or F. Jalen received the voucher, and Crystal used it to get her into the Good Shepherd, where she has flourished.
She went from being in the fifth grade with a third grade reading level to above. She passed and exceeded where her reading level should have been at.
Jalen is one of more than 7,000 students who are choosing to use the state voucher program, just one of several school choice options for Louisiana parents.
Not only do we enjoy the Louisiana Scholarship Program, we have the tax rebate, Louisiana Tax Rebate Program. We have a school choice for students with exceptionalities. We also have options for those families who decide that homeschooling is the right method for their particular child.
Ann Duplessis is president of the Louisiana Federation for Children that promotes school choice for low and middle income families. A former state senator, Duplessis was not originally a school choice advocate.
When the idea was first presented actually in the legislature, that first time, I actually killed the first piece of legislation that was presented.
After appeals from families in the New Orleans area suffering under a dysfunctional school board, Duplessis ultimately sponsored legislation in 2008, creating a pilot voucher program in the city. The program went statewide in 2012. Funding for the program was originally to come from the state's per-pupil allotment. After a successful court challenge by the Louisiana Federation of Teachers, the money now comes from the state general fund. In 2015, the legislature voted to provide $42 million for Louisiana's school choice program.
We're really looking at a problem where the state proffers a lot of money, and then they have no ability to really track these programs to see if they're delivering on what the promise was.
Steve Monahan is president of the Louisiana Federation of Teachers. He argues that schools that accept vouchers are not obligated to provide information to parents on things such as academic achievement like traditional public schools. The evidence that is available, Monahan says, points to a flawed system.
There was a study that just recently came out by the National Bureau of Economic Research that basically just declared it a failure, that the students in the program are more prone to failure and losing ground in regard to student achievement than the students in the public schools they left.
Monahan also says the concept of choice is ultimately in the hands of the voucher school, not the parent.
The school still has a right to say you don't fit our model. We're having that problem with special needs children. The private parochial schools simply say we don't have the resources to educate that child.
Duplessis counters that with changes, the legislation can be more accommodating to special needs children.
We didn't write this bill, this legislation in ink. We wrote it in pencil. So we have the ability to erase some things that aren't working, right? Flexibility. Or add some things that we see can be added to make it a better program.
She also criticizes the National Bureau of Economic Research study for its measure of success.
the program only gave that school, the voucher school, 1 year to bring a child from 2 or 3 grade levels below where they should be up to grade point. That's in many cases impossible.
Duplessis notes that if the performance of all voucher students was measured like a district, it would rank 9th in Louisiana for improvement. And when it comes to money, the voucher program has saved the state over $21 million.
The state is paying $8,500 for every child who wishes to go to a public school or who is forced to go to a public school. The average tuition that the voucher has funded has been about $4,800, $5,000. So when you look at the difference, the saving, the $3,000 per child savings, we have saved the state millions and millions of dollars.
Despite the debate, Crystal is certain Jalen would be failing if she hadn't left her previous school, and her self-esteem would be plummeting instead of continuing to rise.
Oh, it's out the roof. It's out the roof. She feels she can conquer anything, and that's what I want her to feel like.